As Logan Salo finishing his warm-up pitches on the mound for Elmira in his third start of the year. Doug Page alongside Robbie Knopf as Robbie will give you a look into some of his stats coming into this one.
And Salo, a little bit similar to the right-hander Villanueva for Watertown, has had some issues with the walk. He's walked 8 while striking out 7 in 9 innings pitched, but he's a guy coming out of an SEC school, Kentucky, and excellent fastball and breaking ball, and we'll have to see if this is the outing where it all comes together.
There's the first pitch called strike here to the leadoff batter, Santino Altieri, the second baseman for the Rams.
Altieri
is going to ground one here to his second. Tough play for Skirpon as it rolls up his arm, and he's not able to make a play as that one went right off his glove and into the crease of his elbow. And it's going to be a leadoff base runner here for the Rams.
Ironic, because I was about to talk about Alteri's plate discipline, but right there goes after the first pitch and forces the Pioneers to make a play, and they were unable to do so as Skirpon faced the tough hop, and Alteri is safe at first. And they will call that a hit, so congratulations to Alteri on reaching and raising his batting average a little bit. As that pitch looks like they're calling it a ball.
So the count will be 1-0 here to the batter, Chris Catano, the right fielder, with the runner, Altieri, leading off of first. And a pitch here is a called strike. Nice pitch to even up the count from Logan Salo.
And interesting, against the lefty Salo, the Watertown Rams throwing out a pair of lefty batters to begin the game. So lefty on lefty, Salo should get these guys out, as there's a breaking ball that misses inside. So Salo behind in the count.
So now a 2-1 coming. Pretty good lead off of first for Altieri. Good speed. There's a good eye there again by Gaetano. It's Altieri, Gaetano, and DeOrio to lead off for the Rams here in the bottom of the first, as they were able to get out of the top half of the inning as Elmira stranded the bases loaded. No score between the two teams. Elmira looking to try and get back into the win column after they had their 3-game winning streak snapped at home last night against the Utica Brewers by a 1-0 final score. Elmira coming into this game just a half game back of Newark at 10-7. Salo again, another throw over, paying attention to Altieri.
You know, Altieri can run a little bit. He has 3 stolen bases in 3 attempts, and we saw him beat out that infield single. Once Skirpon bobbled it, he didn't have a chance.
And the pitch here is going to be outside for ball 4, so it's a walk to the number 2 batter, Chris Catano. And just like that, the Rams are going to have a runner in scoring position with their catcher, Matt DeOrio, coming up to the plate.
And Drew Fisher quickly coming out to talk to the lefty Salo. Just a quick word, make sure they're on the same page as they are set to face another lefty batter. So make it 3 in a row to begin the game for Watertown. As
DeOrio became the first and only player yet this season to hit for the cycle.
And really a spectacular season overall, as he's hitting .419, and as the cycle showed, quite a bit of power.
As the first pitch fastball here is going to go high for ball 1.
And talked about it briefly in the first inning, but this is a case where Drew Fisher is costing his pitcher strikes by catching the ball ready to throw, as a couple pitches really quite borderline, but if you get up, the umpire doesn't have that good of an opportunity to really see exactly where the pitch was. That one on the corner on waist high, that could have been a strike, but Fisher is getting out of his stance with no runner going and has to really pick his spots a little bit better when he's doing that.
As the count is 1-0 here to the batter DeOrio. Runners leading off first and second, and another fastball will sail high here.
And Salo looking at the ground for a moment after that pitch. He's a little bit frustrated on the mound, and he has to find a way to fix it fast, as the Rams already have first and second with out and out, yet recorded by Salo in this game.
Runners take their leads. Salo's pitch is going to be low for ball 3. And a good ground ball here would help out Salo, but really no reason for DeOrio to try and swing.
Yeah, you got a strike here, and then 3-1 is a count where you can maybe get that ground ball, but it starts with throwing a strike.
And that one's going to miss for ball 4, so the bases are loaded for the Rams here in the bottom of the first inning with nobody out. And that's going to bring Pioneers manager Matt Birch out of the dugout to have a chat with his pitcher here. With nobody out in the inning, Elmira trying to keep things scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and control has really been the biggest battle for Salo this season. Walking 2 in this frame after that infield single, and now bases loaded and nobody out, and this is where you really get to a window into who Logan Salo is as a pitcher. He's faced this adversity. Can he find a way to get out of this jam? Maybe even allowing only 1 run might be a victory for the Pioneers here. It's really a big jam, but it all starts out by throwing strikes, making some pitches, and then seeing if your defense can make some plays behind you.
And Salo, we know, does have the potential, as he was named SEC Pitcher of the Week during the middle portion of the college baseball season. As his infield will be in here at the corners, as Santisteban will play on the edge of the grass over at first. Hilson will play even with the baseline to start out. And a first pitch will miss for a ball here to the left fielder, Joe Ogren.
And as they say, there's no defense for the walk, so Salo has to find a way to get the ball into the strike zone. Allowing contact is okay because that's potential to turn into outs. When you're pitching it outside the zone and you're taking it, really not helping you at all.
And here's a fastball in for a strike. That one caught the inner half of the plate.
And for Salo, really a very fastball-heavy approach early on, but just not always locating it where he wants to. Haven't seen a breaking ball yet.
And another fastball here, and that one swung on and missed. As Ogren really started to load up on that one. Ogren out of Bucknell. As Pioneers pitchers, Tucker Rakuski and Bryson Hill also out of Bucknell. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Salo. That one's going to be high for a ball.
Yeah, going up with that pitch after a couple offerings down, and that could be a good setup pitch if he just comes back with the same pitch that was so successful for him early in the count.
Salo shakes off the catcher, Fisher, a couple times. Now has a pitch, and he'll step off. So the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Bases loaded for the Rams. Elmira was able to load the bases in the top of the first, but they did so after 2 outs in the inning. And here's a pitch, a breaking ball. What a beauty for strike 3. And that's a big first out for Logan Salo, as that'll bring up the number 5 batter, Dominic Lopez.
Salo throwing his first breaking ball of the game, and really the perfect possible time, as Ogren was looking fastball, and he was totally fooled when the breaking ball came.
So that'll bring in the first baseman, another left-hander for Salo to face. There's the first pitch, and there's that breaking ball again, back-to-back pitches, and it's a nice one to start off Lopez 0-1.
And the Pioneers, the plan may have been to try to get Salo through the first time through the order without that curveball, but circumstances can really change everything, and especially in a 7-inning game, might as well really empty the tank right now. No point trying to hold something back for later innings that may not matter if you give up a few runs.
And the count's 0-2 here, and the pitch is going to be fouled off over towards the press box here on the third base side, as the count stays at no balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. The batter, Dominic Lopez, with the catcher, Joe DeLuca, in the on-deck circle. Salo steps off.
And for Salo, he's thrown a few good breaking pitches. Now let's see if he can maybe elevate a fastball and come away with the strikeout.
Here's the pitch, and that one is a fastball, and not being able to hold up was Lopez. As I thought, it was strike 3, and indeed it will be. So back-to-back strikeouts for Logan Salo, as he did go up in the zone with the fastball, and Lopez could not hold off.
Yeah, if you're a pitcher, your goal is really to try to change as much as possible between pitches. Try to change speeds, change the direction of the movement, and change eye levels. And Salo doing all three right there, going from a curveball maybe in the upper 70s down in the zone to a fastball in the upper 80s up in the zone. So really a great job there, and 1 out away from escaping this jam without allowing a run.
Here's the pitch from Salo to the catcher. That's a called strike. Joe DeLuca getting the start behind the plate tonight. So Watertown with 2 of their 3 catchers in the game, as Matt DeOrio doing the designated hitting.
And DeLuca with sneaky power. He already has 2 home runs on this season.
And here's a pitch. It looked good, but no call from the home plate umpire. Larry Gallo is starting to flinch with DeLuca.
When you look at this inning, this is really all Logan Salo. All the success and all the failures as 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. He did allow that little infield single, but that was really it in terms of the fielders.
And here's the pitch. Breaking ball. And it's going to miss. Had the perfect height, but missed outside. So the count out 2 balls and a strike. So a leadoff hit and then 2 walks for Watertown here in the bottom of the first. Have the bases loaded. The pitch is a breaking ball that's going to miss, and now the count 3-1. And nowhere to put the batter DeLuca without bringing in a run.
And obviously a big pitch for Logan Salo. So which does he trust more, his fastball or his curveball in a situation where he has to throw a strike?
Here comes the 3-1 offering for Salo. Takes a big breather on the mound. The pitch, that one swung on. That's hit out to center field, going back Dixon at the wall. That's going to be out. And we'll see if they call a home run, if it's a ground rule double. I believe it's going to be a ground rule double off of the gravel out in left center. So standing on second will be the batter DeLuca, and it will score 2 runs. So it'll be a 2-0 lead for the Rams. Salo did go with the breaking ball, and sitting on the breaking ball was DeLuca.
And for DeLuca, that's his 4th extra base hit of the season in limited time, and now he has 7 runs batted in, so a huge hit for the Rams to take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first after the Pioneers failed to score in the top of the inning.
And a curveball called for a strike here to the number 7 batter, Drew Herchick.
And Salo's breaking ball is certainly more effective than what we saw from Villanueva in the top of the first, but if you throw it too often, hitters can handle it. That's the way it goes. As that one misses outside, so the count now 1-1. Salo may be falling in love with that breaking ball too much and really throwing it in about the same spot every time. And if you do that, hitters can just wait for it, and DeLuca got it right there.
And here's another one, and that one is fouled off of the catcher, Drew Fisher. So the count will be a ball and 2 strikes, as the Rams have struck for the game's first runs here in the bottom of the first inning, as both teams have had a bases-loaded situation early on in the game.
And you look at the scoreboard, and Watertown now has 2 runs on only 1 hit, as Salo doing plenty of... That can't be right. It really should be 2 runs on 2 hits, unless they award... Oh, they did change that ground ball to skirt onto an error, Doug.
So here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to miss inside. So 2 runs on 1 hit, and then an E4 for Santino Altieri to start off the bottom of the first inning as the ball rolled off the glove of Taylor Skirpon and up his arm. So here comes the pitch, and it's going to be swung on and missed in the dirt by Drew Herchick to end the inning. But the Rams get the game's first 2 runs as we're set to play 7 innings here in both games as we're in Game 1 of our doubleheader between the Pioneers and the Rams. We'll take a break. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Robbie Knopf as we get set to kick off the top of the second inning here at the Duff as Taylor Skirpon will lead things off for Elmira. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters against Javi Villanueva. Elmira was able to load up the bases against him in the top of the first, but they weren't able to capitalize. As the first pitch is a called strike to Taylor Skirpon, getting the start at second base for the Pioneers.
And Skirpon really entering the game red hot. He's up to 314, which is third best on his Pioneer squad after he began the year really on the bench for most games.
As Elmira trailing 2-0 after the Rams were able to capitalize on a bases loaded situation on a 2 RBI double from Joe DeLuca. And Skirpon going to swing here at the 1-1 offering.
And there's that breaking ball again from Villanueva. And the Pioneers, nice job bleeding off of that in the first inning and hope to get back to that here in the top of the second.
Here's the 1-2 offering, and that breaking ball will miss low and inside.
You're now seeing a couple of breaking balls down, and Villanueva, you're going to have to go to something else to try to retire Skirpon. He's right on that breaking pitch and watched it all the way into the glove.
And the pitch is going to be popped up high in the air in the infield as the first baseman calling for it. And the ball's going to be dropped as at the last second the wind might have moved it a little bit, but Lopez was calling for it. And coming in was the shortstop Alessandrine. And it hit off of the wrist, I believe, of the first baseman Lopez. So safe at first is going to be Taylor Skirpon. And it's a leadoff base runner for Elmira.
Yeah, Pioneers definitely getting a break there, as that was, pop-up right on the infield. Now the question is whether they can take advantage. In that first, they had their chance, couldn't get it, while Watertown came back and came away with 2 runs.
Pitch swung out by Fisher, grounded to the second baseman, Salvateri, but it's off his glove, and safe at first is going to be Drew Fisher. So Santino Alteri has a ball go off his glove on what looked like it was going to be at least the beginnings of a 4-6-3 double play. And now Elmira's got their first 2 runners on to kick off this top of the second.
And how about that by Drew Fisher? Showing bunt and then swinging away and able to maybe disrupt the timing of the second baseman Alteri there, resulting in both base runners being safe. So Pioneers now with 2 on and nobody out, both reaching on errors. And here's Derek DeLear with the tying runs already on base.
DeLear stepping in, the shortstop out of Florida International, a right-handed batter. As the Rams will play in here at the corners. DeLear not showing bunt on a first pitch breaking ball. It's called for ball 1.
Yeah, you really don't want DeLear showing bunt right here. Here's your power at the bottom of the order. He already has 3 doubles, a homer, and 9 RBIs this season. Let's see if he can add to a couple of those totals right here.
There's the pitch from Villanueva, and that one is going to be below the knees for a ball. As the count is now 2-0. Pretty sunny here today at the Duff, as it's a beautiful day to play a doubleheader. Blue skies, a little bit of breeze, not too much humidity out there. Definitely better than how the weather was at middle of this week. And here is a 2-0 pitch. It's going to miss low for a ball. Good eye from Derek DeLear. Elmira would love to get things back to the top of their lineup with the bases loaded and no outs.
Yeah, it certainly does not get easier for Villanueva after this.
And here's the 3-0, and that's going to be low for ball 4. And Elmira, for the second time in the first 2 innings, has the bases loaded, with Chris Kaluzdian, who's already 1 for 1 in the game, coming up to the plate.
Yeah, this time, just like what the Rams had in the bottom of the first, it's bases loaded and nobody out, and this is a situation where you really have to come away with at least a run or 2, or this is a major failure. But these are the guys you want coming up. Chris Kaluzdian, TJ Dixon, and Nick Walker, as the Pioneers hope to tie the game and just maybe take the lead.
And here's the pitch from Villanueva, and that's a fastball called for a strike.
Yeah, nice breaking pitch by Villanueva to start the at-bat, and he's done a better job this inning spotting his breaking ball for strikes.
Runners take their leads off first, second, and third. There's the pitch. That one swung on by Kaluzdian. It's skied in the air. Ranging under it is the shortstop Alessandrine, and he'll make the catch, and the runners will have to hold. So just 2 pitches is all Kaluzdian sees, and there's 1 away.
And no issues on that pop-up for Watertown as they record the first out of the inning. And now it's a little bit more difficult for the Pioneers, although a fly ball would bring in a run, and Dixon hoping for a base hit to quite possibly bringing in 2.
There's the first pitch to Dixon, and that one's swung on. That one's given a ride out to right field. Settling under the right fielder, makes the catch. That'll score 1, and Gaetano gets the ball in as he makes the throw to third. And Elmira is going to score their first run of the game on the sac fly from T.J. Dixon, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
For Dixon, that's his 5th RBI of the season, and gets a nice job getting a pitch in the zone and just putting a good swing on it. It turned out to be a sac fly, but maybe you hit it in a different spot, and that turns into a 2-run double. So always nothing to lose trying to hit the fly ball, and nice job by Dixon executing there.
So that brings in Nick Walker. Breaking ball here, and the first pitch will miss for ball 1. So runners on first and second now, 2 outs for Elmira. They trail Watertown 2-1 here from the Duff in game 1 of our doubleheader, set for 7 innings in both contests. And the pitch from Villanueva is a fastball. A little miss for a ball.
Yeah, close pitch there, thrown by Villanueva, but maybe moved a little bit too much. Nice horizontal movement, took it into the zone and then right out of it at the very end. The umpire calling it a ball.
Villanueva out of Skagit Valley. Here's his 2-0. And that one's going to be low for ball 3. Elmira trying to load the bases up once again for Christian Santisteban, who waits in the on-deck circle, hoping he can get to the plate.
And control a major issue for both pitchers so far in this game.
Here's the 3-0, and that's going to be a called strike. Walker started to head towards first, but that one intrigued the umpire enough.
Yeah, so now we have 3 walks in the game for Villanueva, hoping to avoid walk number 4.
And here's the 3-1, and that's low for ball 4. So it'll be bases loaded again for Elmira with Christian Santisteban stepping up, who's already walked once in this game.
And if you're Santisteban, definitely not going to be too aggressive here. You know, if you can just simply draw the base on balls, you are going to get an RBI for yourself and tie this game up, but you got a good pitch ahead and you have his power, you certainly can't pass it up.
So it's Drew Fisher on third for Elmira, Derek DeLear on second, and on first it's Nick Walker.
Solid speed on the bases for the Pioneers, and something to the gaps. Walker runs pretty well. He would definitely have a chance to score.
First pitch breaking ball from Villanueva missed outside.
So now Santisteban ahead in the count. Maybe he sits on a pitch at a certain spot, and if he gets it, he could hit the ball a long way.
Here's the pitch, and it's another breaking ball in the dirt. Nice job by the catcher, DeLuca, to keep it in front of him, and that's going to bring out the shortstop, Alessandrine, to have a chat with his pitcher.
And for the Pioneers, already well into their second time through the order and making some adjustments, really laying off those breaking pitches and drawing a couple more walks, and now 90 feet away from tying this game.
As the count is 2-0 to Christian Santisteban. Here's the pitch from Villanueva, and that one is going to be outside for ball 3. So now Elmira potentially a pitch away from having the game tied up and not having to swing their bat as the bases are loaded.
And will Villanueva finally come with the fastball here after breaking ball in the dirt?
And here's the pitch, and it's a fastball, and it's called for strike 1. That one came in across the knees.
Yeah, finally got one in the zone, but still in trouble here. 3-1 with the bases loaded and a 1-run lead for Javi Villanueva and the Watertown Rams.
Here's the pitch. That one swung on. That's singled through the right-hand side past the first baseman. Here comes DeLear around third. He's hustling. Here comes the throw home. It's going to be up the line, and it's a 2 RBI single for Christian Santisteban, and it gives Elmira a 3-2 lead here in the top of the second inning.
So a huge hit for Santisteban there, just finding a pitch middle in and drilling a hard ground ball right past the first baseman and getting 2 runs added for his team. The Pioneers have come all the way back to take a 3-2 lead in this game, and for Santisteban, he now has 15 RBIs on this season. And
behind the play, Walker, a nice job of base running. He was able to get to third as the first pitch is a called strike here to Zach Bellinger. Bellinger walked his first time up as well back in the first inning.
And Walker, really a guy, he's shown very good things on the base pass the entire season, whether stealing bases or just running well on situations like that.
And Bellinger going to pop the pitch up here, as calling for it is Alessandrine as he ranges over to the second base side of the bag. So Elmira strands 2 on, but they take the lead as they answer the Rams' 2-run bottom of the first with a 3-run top of the second. And we'll take a break. Elmira on top 3-2 here from the Duff in Watertown, New York. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you from the Duff in Watertown, New York, as Elmira puts up a 3-spot in the top of the second inning to take a 3-2 lead against the Watertown Rams and put their starting pitcher, Logan Salo, back into the lead. Salo gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning as he had some control issues, trying to hit the strike zone. Really, both pitchers have had some control issues here to start off the game. As here's one in the dirt to the leadoff batter, Josh Hassel, to kick off the second inning.
But if you're Logan Salo, your team just picked you up. They got you 3 runs, and suddenly you have the lead. Let's see if he can hold it.
So he did have 3 strikeouts in that first inning, 2 swinging and 1 looking to work around the walks and the 2 singles. Well, a single and a double.
He did strike out the side, but that's certainly misleading if we only said that, because he had quite a few problems in between those strikeouts.
So the count is 1-1 here to the batter, Josh Hassel, the center fielder, as it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 batters. The pitch, and that's going to be a called strike.
Nice fastball right there on the corner. Certainly a big contrast with his breaking ball, and now he's ahead in the count 1-2. Let's see if he goes back to the breaker here.
And here comes the 1-2. That one swung on. Poke to Skirpon at second. Fields the ball, makes the throw in time for the first out. Nice play by Skirpon to kick off the inning.
And for Skirpon, that's really a nice adjustment after the last one. After that ball that was hit by the leadoff man for the Watertown Rams, Santino Altieri, that one he charged in a little bit too much, but that time he waits on it, knowing that he has a little bit of time with the runner not getting too quickly down the first baseline, and just gloves it and throws the first for the first out here in the bottom of the second.
So that'll bring up the number 9 batter, Robbie Alessandri, in the shortstop for the Watertown Rams.
Really very similar between the Rams and the Pioneers. A 9-hitter who really does something at the plate. Alessandri entering the game hitting .281, and he actually has a double and 6 RBIs. This is a guy to be reckoned with. We'll have to see if Salo can send him down.
And the count is 1-1. A lefty versus righty matchup. The pitch here from Salo is going to sail high.
And for Salo, you never like those pitches that really aren't too competitive. You look at Alessandri and you really didn't consider swing at that one for even a moment. And now Salo hoping to get back in a count on this pitch.
And that one is going to miss, so they count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and for Salo, nice job at least taking that bad pitch and then using it for something good. The previous one missed up, but that one able to come down and suddenly changes the hitter's eye level.
And this one's grounded to Skirpon at second, and again makes the play. So back-to-back groundouts to the second baseman to kick off the inning for Watertown.
So a lot in this game really centering around Taylor Skirpon. In that first inning, it was that infield single that he couldn't quite feel that started the rally for the Rams. And then in the top of the second, he started the rally for the Pioneers after he reached on the error. And now here, the first 2 outs in the inning, so Skirpon really right in the thick of things here at the Duff.
And here comes the pitch from Salo, as it'll be the leadoff batter, Santino Altieri, who's 1 for 1 in the game and has scored a run for the Watertown Rams. And now the pitch is swung on. A chopper again to Skirpon. Can he make it 3 for 3? The throw in time. And it's literally a Taylor Skirpon inning as it goes 4-3, 4-3, 4-3 for the Rams. And Salo sets him down in order. Elmira takes their 3-2 lead into the third inning from the Duff in Watertown, New York. We'll step aside. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network.
Hi everyone, and we are back here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network as we are set to begin the top of the third inning with Taylor Hilson digging in against the right-hander Javi Villanueva. Villanueva set, and here is his first pitch. And fun is shown by Hilson, and the home plate umpire says that he swung, so that'll be strike 1. Right idea for Hilson, trying to take advantage. Nope, they are going to call it a ball. Looks like the scoreboard was wrong for a moment, but now it's been rectified. And here's the 1-0 to Hilson. Nice breaking ball by Villanueva, and that's the one he's going to hope to find more often. Right there, Hilson looking fastball comes with the breaking ball, and that would have been a called strike even if he did not swing at that one. Great pitch there by the right-hander. Another breaking ball, but that's really the one we've been seeing more often. Doesn't really look like a strike from the start and finishes down in the dirt. And the Pioneers doing a great job laying off of that pitch and using it to get ahead in the count. And that fastball from Villanueva will be a strike. So now a 2-2 count on the Pioneers' third baseman. Hilson entering the game hitting .293. And here's the pitch from Villanueva. Another breaking ball, a nice job by Hilson staying on it, but it was just going to go for a ground ball, third to first for the out. So 1 away for Villanueva, hoping to rebound after allowing 3 runs in the last frame. And now here, coming to the plate, is the man who's really been doing everything in this game, and that is Pioneers second baseman Taylor Skirpon. How about him so far, Doug?
Yeah, I really like the way that Skirpon has started this game out. Really, he's had a good string of games. His last 5 or 6 games for Elmira, he's really turned on. And, I mean, I don't know if it was the limited playing time we saw from him in the beginning of the year, but I really liked his play out at second, his play at the plate. Looks like a very, I'll say, seasoned batter. He also is very disciplined at the plate, and he works around things in the outfield. Doesn't let things get to him. As he's going to chop a pitch here to the shortstop, Alessandrine, and the throw is going to be close at first, but that's going to be the second out of the inning on the second ground out And that will bring up the number 8 batter, Drew Fisher, for Elmira.
And Fisher reached on an error in his last at-bat, but almost a case of a forced error as Fisher showed bunt and then hit. After showing bunt, he then took it back and swung it and hit a ground ball to second baseman, and Altieri unable to field it cleanly. Maybe a little bit thrown off by the butcherborg, as they call it, as Fisher takes a first pitch strike.
So the count 0-1 here with 2 outs. Elmira a 3-2 lead in the top of the 3rd inning against the Watertown Rams. Against Rams starter Javi Villanueva, the pitch is going to be taken for a ball. As Watertown got both of their runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. As they got 2 runs. A 2 RBI double from Joe DeLuca. Elmira getting 3 runs in the top of the 2nd. As the pitch here is going to be low and inside. And 2 of those coming off the bat of Christian Santisteban, I believe, for his 14th and 15th RBIs
and
of
of
the
course,
season.
you are correct, Doug, as usual. And big hit by Santisteban to give the Pioneers the lead.
And a pitch here, a chopper off the plate. Villanueva is going to get it off the mound, and then the Sun is able to make the throw. So Villanueva follows suit of Logan Salo and sets down the Pioneers in order here in the top of the 3rd. As we head to the bottom half of the inning, still a 1-run lead for Elmira.
And you are listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. We'll take a quick break.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Duff in Watertown, New York, as the Pioneers taking on the Watertown Rams. Logan Salo back out here to pitch the bottom of the 3rd inning, and really a tale of 2 innings, Robbie, for Logan Salo. He had that 1st inning where 7 guys came to the plate, 2 runs scored, and then he had the 2nd inning where just 3 guys came to the plate, and they all grounded out to Taylor Skirpon at second.
Yeah, this game has really turned around in the last couple of half innings, as it has gone from what looked like it might be a slugfest to both pitchers settling down, and for Salo, did a much better job mixing his pitches. In that 1st inning, it began with him throwing fastball after fastball with inconsistent results, and then 2nd half of the inning, he kept throwing curveball after curveball until DeLuca ended up hitting one for the 2-run double. But right there, a better mix of his pitches and much better results, as Taylor Skirpon able to convert all 3 ground balls forced by Salo into the outs needed to proceed the game into next half inning.
So we'll see if Salo has settled down on the mound, as he will face the 2, 3, and 4 batters here for the Rams, as Chris Gaetano will lead things off.
And that one misses outside. Salo's had some issues with that left-on-left breaking ball so far.
As this one's going to be called foul at the plate.
Yeah, Salo doing a very good job locating that breaking ball on the outside corner to right-handed batters, but a couple times we've seen him miss by a pretty decent amount with those left-on-left curveballs. Maybe that was why he was holding the pitch back at the beginning, but you definitely want to be more than a one-pitch pitcher against batters from both sides, so hopefully you can start figuring out how to better place that pitch moving forward. And the batter will get a moment after he fouled the ball off his foot. And now we're starting to get back into batter's box as we await the 1-1 pitch.
As Logan Salo with a new baseball, as the home plate umpire giving him a new one after that last one was fouled off the top of the foot, as Robbie said of the batter, Gaetano. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be swung on. This time it's fair. Gloving it is Santisteban, and getting the foot on the back in time is Salo at first, not Euler.
Yeah.
That's going to be the first out of the inning. Blake Euler, he's still down in the bullpen for Elmira.
Yeah, Euler, the other pitcher out of Kentucky, but certainly different pitchers. Euler has been very good out of the bullpen, while Salo showing some effectiveness here in this game as a starting pitcher. Nice job by Salo getting to first base. Sometimes a pitcher will give up on running to cover the bag when the first baseman looks like he's going to take it himself, but in that case, Christian Santisteban did not have enough time, and it made all the difference that Salo was at the first base bag and could fuel the flip for the out.
And the first pitch to the designated hitter, Matt DeOrio, is going to miss for a ball. DeOrio also walked in that first inning, was stranded at third base.
And here's the 1-0.
That one's chopped over to Santisteban at first, but he's going to bobble it, and his flip is going to be way off the mark. And it's going to be a one-out base runner for the Rams.
And that looks like a surefire E3. And for Santisteban, that is going to be his third error of the season. This similar play last time, but for whatever reason, it took a bad hop on him. He just couldn't get it out of his glove until it was too late. Made a desperation flip, but unfortunately did not turn out too well as it went over the head of the pitcher Salo, attempting to cover again.
The runner DeOrio leads off first. The pitch home is swung on. That one's popped up over into right field. Clusian giving a chase towards the foul line, makes the catch. And having to head back to first will be the runner DeOrio. Well, really didn't get far off the bag, but he does have to go back and stand on the bag after the out.
And Howard Clusian there really covering a lot of ground. That was a shallow pop-up, and those are the pop-ups that can really give you trouble. Those can drop in, but Clusian ranging over from playing a little bit more towards right center and coming a long way to make that catch. Didn't even need to dive or anything, so looks a little bit less flashy, but certainly gets the job done. As the first pitch fastball from Salo is swung and missed by Dominic Lopez.
As Lopez struck out swinging back in the first inning. As the runner is DeOrio at first, Elmira's first error of the game defensively. As DeOrio has to head back here, as they've got one in the game for the Watertown Rams. They have two, as their two came in Elmira's 3-run second inning.
And Salo continue to miss with that breaking ball outside to left-handed batters, only showing the ability to locate it on one side of the plate.
And here's the pitch, and that one's going to miss for ball 2.
And the third pitcher, at least it's good to know that you're missing in the same spot. It's one specific adjustment that you need to make instead of a series of problems going on at once. And that one, a fastball that was right on the corner, but apparently just off, as the umpire will call it a ball. And Salo behind in the count 3-1 now, hoping to avoid another walk in this game after he had some control issues in the first inning, walking 2.
Runner leads at first, the pitch, and that one is going to be taken for strike 2. So the count full here, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Elmira the 3-2 lead against the Rams in this 7-inning game. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Here's the pitch, and actually a throw over to first as the designated hitter made catcher Matt DeOrio back to first.
And DeOrio will be going on this pitch, and if you're Salo, just want to limit his secondary lead a little bit and make it a little bit harder for him to score in the case of an extra base hit.
Here's the pitch, and it's going to miss for ball 4. So it'll be runners on first and second with 2 outs here.
And Salo and Drew Fisher really not with a bad idea there, maybe trying to elevate a fastball and get a swing and miss, but it's a little bit too high and a little bit too inside, and the result is Salo's 3rd walk of the game. He has gotten 3 strikeouts, but those walks are a little bit concerning, Doug.
And that will bring in the man that is responsible for the Rams' 2 runs of the game, Joe DeLuca, who crushed the ball out to left center field, and it actually took a 1-hop over the wall in left field off of the gravel for a 2 RBI double.
And DeLuca really sitting on the curveball to make that hard contact. I'd love to see how the Pioneers approach him this time around. How often are you going to use that curveball?
And here's the pitch. That one swung on over towards the first base line. Santisteban makes the catch as he was spinning around. And a nice play by the Jasper at first base, and that'll end the inning as 2 runners get left on. And Elmira takes their lead into the 4th inning here at the Duff in Watertown, New York. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network.
Hi everyone, and we are back here from the Duff in Watertown, New York, as this game between the Elmira Pioneers and the Watertown Rams is about to enter the top of the fourth inning. And in the bottom of the third, Logan Salo having a little bit more trouble. First, a runner reached on the error by Santisteban at first base, and then it was the third walk of the game issued by Salo, but nice job keeping the Rams off the board, and the Pioneers will begin this inning still holding a 3-2 lead. And stepping up to the plate will be shortstop Derek DeLear, acting as your second leadoff man for the Pioneers in this game, with the top of the order and Chris Kaluzian on deck. And Villanueva just about set as we begin the top of the fourth.
DeLear walked and scored a run in the second inning. As his first pitch he sees is swung on right at the third baseman. Herchik has to make the throw. It's a little high. And the runner DeLear cannot get around the tag. I believe he might have been a little slow getting down to first. He thought maybe Herchik made that stab and didn't run right out of the box. So it goes down as a 5-3 for the first out of the inning.
And that's almost two mistakes by DeLear there. The first was not running hard. You never assume the out. And secondly, with that throw coming in, DeLear really didn't do much to try to evade the tag.
And the first pitch to Kaluzian is going to be a called strike. Kaluzian 1 for 2 in this game. Singled in the first, popped up to the shortstop and the second.
And the 0-1 from Villanueva will be low for ball one. So make it a 1-1 count to Chris Kaluzian, who singled and made it as far as third base in the first inning, but unable to score, as the Pioneers stranded the bases loaded in that inning.
Here comes the 1-1 from Villanueva. That'll miss for ball two.
And this game has really been the same story for him. A lot of breaking balls in the dirt, but finding a way to come back with some fastballs for strikes to toss scoreless ball last inning.
And another one is low here, as now we get later in game one of our doubleheader, scheduled for 7 innings as we work here in the top of the fourth inning.
And you have to think, a couple of base runners, and this will be it for Villanueva.
And here's the pitch.
You know, Watertown certainly does not want to get behind by any more runs, as Kaluzian draws the walk, so lead off base runner for the Pios. And up comes C.J. Dixon, who cannot record a hit in his last at-bat, but did a great job delivering the sac fly to plate the Pioneers' first run of the game, and they went on to score a couple more before the inning was through.
So Elmira with their leadoff base runner on in 3 out of the 4 innings. The only inning they didn't do that was the 1-2-3 inning that Javi Villanueva had in the third inning.
And there's a strike to Dixon. And you look at Villanueva, and Pinchot certainly been a problem. Now he already has 5 walks in this game.
And still isn't yet to get registered his first strikeout.
And Dixon awaits the 0-1. And swung on and missed. Nice job by Villanueva coming with the off-speed pitch.
So for Villanueva, his last 4 outs have come via ground ball, as he had 3 ground ball outs in the third, and then the first out to DeLear, to the third baseman, Herchik.
And Dixon with the offering from the right-hander. There goes DeLear, and the throw is not going to be in time, and it gets by the infielder backing up, so off to third goes Kaluzian, excuse me.
That's okay, as Kaluzian very alert on that play. You could see him like leaning towards second there, trying to entice the throw from Villanueva, but Villanueva delivered home. So it's a stolen base and then an error is how Kaluzian will get to third. Now the Rams infield coming in here against T.J. Dixon. The 1-2 is called for strike 3. As Dixon not liking that one too much, and that is a big second out for Javi Villanueva. And the first strikeout.
You have the infield in, and maybe an easier chance of getting a hit, but there was Villanueva coming up with the big pitch, a breaking ball right on the outside corner for the strikeout. And here's Nick Walker hoping to extend the Pioneers' lead as the breaking ball from Villanueva misses low.
Walker in the game, 0 for 1. Flew out to the center fielder Hessel in the first inning, then walked and was stranded at third in the second.
And Kalusian got to third and was stranded in the first, hoping to avoid a repeat here. As that one will miss low. Another breaking ball for Villanueva, and Walker having no part of it as he's ahead in the count 2-0. Walker already with 8 RBIs for the Pioneers this season, and number 9 would give them a 4-2 lead here in the top of the fourth.
That pitch is going to miss, and they count 3 balls and no strikes with Christian Santisteban in the on-deck circle. So for Javi Villanueva, maybe a spot where you got to pick and choose who you want to face. And that one's a called strike to get the count at 3-1.
And then again, you have the baseball adage, don't walk a same-side hitter to face an opposite-side hitter. And, of course, Santisteban with a 2-run single in his last at-bat.
And there's ball 4, as it'll put runners on first and third for Elmira with Santisteban stepping in. Second time that Walker has walked in the game.
And with another batter at the plate, maybe you try something a little crazy with a runner with speed on third base. But Santisteban, he's your RBI guy, and you trust him to deliver another hit here, maybe get RBI 3 in the game and make this a 4-2 ball game.
Runner faked like he was going to second, as that's Walker, but there was a called strike at the plate.
Well, the thing for Walker is that if he gets a good jump at all, the catcher isn't going to throw through, knowing that Kalusian could easily score.
And a throw over now, as that one was almost offline, as falling to the second base side of the bag was Lopez.
And Villanueva, this pickoff throw, really haven't seen a good one yet.
And here comes the 0-1. The runner's off this time. That one's hit into right field. That's going to be an RBI single for Santisteban. Going to third is Walker. Here's the throw, and it's going to be in time to end the inning. So it's going to go down as an RBI single for Christian Santisteban, and then the out was recorded on an 8-5 on the out, and that will end the inning. So Elmira takes a 4-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning here at the Duff in Watertown, New York. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Elmira now with a 2-run lead here for their starter, Logan Salo, as we get set to kick off the bottom of the fourth inning here at the Duff, as Elmira getting their 4th run of the game on an RBI single from Christian Santisteban after Chris Kalusian was able to get to third by stealing second and moving over to third on an error by the catcher, trying to make the throw down to second, and that proved dividends for Elmira, as they did get out of the inning, as Nick Walker was thrown out at third on a great throw from the right fielder, Chris Catano, and then a nice tag applied by the third baseman, Drew Herchick.
And Walker was going, so he thought he would be at third easily, but that's not what happened.
Pitch here is going to be swung on. That was going to be caught by Kalusian in right field. What an effort by Chris Kalusian. I thought he was going to let that one go down for a hit, but he threw the glove out there and made the catch. So that'll bring in the center fielder, Josh Hassel. Nice play there by Chris Kalusian in right field there.
Yeah, Kalusian, really a guy that can play center, and you have him in right. So showing off the great speed there to get to that ball, make a dive to make the play happen. So great job by Kalusian, and that's out number 1.
As this one is laced down the left field line. And that one's going to be fair, they're going to call it. That one went into the corner. as Walker didn't get to it as he thought it was going to drop foul. And it's going to be a one-out double for the batter, Josh Hassel. And it will be the third hit of the ball game for the Watertown Rams. And it will be their first hit since the first inning, which was the RBI hit from Joe DeLuca.
And you look at Salo, he has allowed, Salo, he has allowed 2 rockets this inning. Lucky enough that one of them turned into an out, but he has to find a way to mix things up because these Watertown hitters have really been on his pitches.
And now throw to second as it looks like Elmira almost had the runner picked off, as that was a good tag applied by Taylor Skirpon, as they thought they had the runner Hassel a little far off the bag.
Yeah, the Pioneers must have had some signal for that because Salo didn't even look back. He just knew that the second baseman Skirpon would be there and almost got the out there.
Trusting your defense. And here's the pitch from Salo to the shortstop, Robbie Alessandrine, and that'll miss for a ball. Alessandrine 0 for 1 in the game, grounded out to Taylor Skirpon in the second inning.
One of many ground outs is Taylor Skirpon in this game, and Salo would love another one here.
And the runner is going to go for third, and there's going to be no throw from the catcher, Drew Fisher, and now the Rams are going to have a runner at third with 1 out.
And the outball didn't really get too far away from Fisher, but that was an excellent read by the runner Hassel, and
he was already halfway.
Yep, he had a nice secondary lead and able to take third because of that. And now the Pioneers playing the infield back, they will make it a 1-run game if a ground ball is hit, basically anywhere. Maybe at third base could be interesting.
And this one swung on, and that one should score a run as Kaluzny makes the catch out in right field. Here comes the throw. He's got a cannon, but it's going to be over the head of Fisher. And that'll be an RBI flyout for the number 9 batter, Robbie Alessandrine, and he cuts it down to a 1-run game, as it's now a 4-3 lead for Elmira, taking things back to the top of the lineup for Santino Altieri.
And with a runner on third and no other base runners, that's a time when the right fielder just had a chance to just deliver the best throw you possibly can and see what happens. In that case, Kalusin, he did deliver another rocket, but not quite on target there, and the run does score to make it a 4-3 game, but Kalusin realizing that nothing to lose despite throwing the ball hard.
And here's the pitch to the leadoff batter, Altieri, and that one will miss for a ball.
Good breaking ball by Salo, but evidently just missed.
Altieri 1 for 2 in this game, a single back in the first and a ground out in the second. As the count now 2-0. Here with the bases empty, a run in this inning for the Rams. This one swung on. That one's hit out to left, and Walker will make the catch. And that'll do it for the Rams, but they get it back to a 1-run game on the sac fly RBI from Robbie Alessandrine that scores the runner Hassel. And it's 4-3 Elmira after 4 full here at the Duff in Watertown, New York, as we get closer to our 7th inning here, this first game of our doubleheader in Watertown between the Rams and the Pioneers. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And to kick off the top of the 5th inning here from the Duff in Watertown, New York, it'll be Zach Bellinger. Bellinger 0 for 1 in the game, and he'll be working against the starter, Javi Villanueva. As it's now a 4-3 ball game in favor of Elmira, as Watertown entered the inning trailing by 2, but they got one back on the sac fly from Robbie Alessandrine.
And the 1-0, a breaking ball, and that time Bellinger went after it, and a little bit upset with himself as he kind of flips his bat around, and the count now 1-1. Bellinger digs back in, awaiting the pitch from Javi Villanueva. Another breaking ball, and that time Bellinger doesn't offer, so ahead in the count 2-1. Bellinger 0 for 1, but he did have a walk in the first inning as the Pioneers loaded the bases but could not score. And that one also missed low, came back with a fastball there. So Bellinger ahead in the count 3-1 and a chance to maybe sit on a pitch. We already saw that work out so well for the Rams as Joe DeLuca hit one far.
As this one's going to be hit out to center, ranging in is Hassel. And he's going to make the catch for the first out.
And for the Pioneers, not all that many hard hit balls off of Javi Villanueva. Villanueva giving him a lot of help with all of his walks. He's up to 5 in the game. Is that what we said? And yes, it was. And Santis came out with the hardest hit ball for the 2-run single. And then also the RBI single last inning was a solid hit.
And this one is going to be past the glove of the third baseman, Herchik. That was a tough bounce. That should be a hit, as it bounded right off of the lip of third base. So it should be the first hit of the ballgame for Taylor Hilson, a one-out single. We'll see how they score it.
And that was really a rocket off the bat of Hilson. Third baseman's positioned differently. That could even be a double, but we'll have to see how they score that.
So that will bring in the batter Taylor Skirpon for Elmira, as it will go as a hit. So Elmira's 4th of the ball game. We'll give you a look at the line score after this pitch from Javi Villanueva. And he's going to throw over, almost had Hilson leaning towards second. Line score here for Elmira, 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. The line for Watertown, 3 runs on 3 hits and 3 errors. Pitcher swung on and right into the glove of the first baseman, Lopez, and he'll step on second. Or on first, excuse me, and that's going to end the inning. What a play by the first baseman, Dominic Lopez, to quickly get Watertown out of the inning, as what Elmira maybe could have started something there. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Pioneers have the hit and run on, and they get a bullet from the hitter at the plate. Can't ask him for anything more, because right into the glove of the first baseman, and that's where the inning ends. And at the end of 4.5 here from the Duff, it is the Elmira Pioneers 4 and the Watertown Rams 3. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to kick off the bottom of the 5th inning here at the Duff in Watertown, New York. Game 1 of our doubleheader today. Both games scheduled for 7 innings. Elmira with a 4-3 lead against the Rams, as Logan Salo back out on the mound for Elmira, as he's worked through 4 innings thus far. He's allowed 3 runs on 3 hits, and has also struck out 3 batters in the game, as all 3 of his strikeouts came back in the first inning. As the first pitch ball will miss here to the leadoff batter, Chris Gaetano, as it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 batters for Watertown. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to miss for a ball as well. So the count 2-0. Elmira, after this doubleheader, will head back home to Dunfield to take on the Albany Dutchmen tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. first pitch, as fans will be able to get free Elmira Pioneers flags courtesy of Jubilee Foods, and then they'll be home again on Sunday, 5:05 p.m. the first pitch, as there'll be free party time cowbells for all fans.
And that pitch was fouled off, and here's the 2-1 offering from Salo, and that one is fouled off as well. Count now even at 2-2. Nice job by Salo coming back with a pair of fastballs, and now has a 2-strike count, hoping to put the hitter Gaetano away.
As these same Watertown Rams will come into Dunfield Sunday. And another foul ball at the plate as Gaetano stays alive. As he's 0 for 1 on the day, is grounded out to the first baseman, Christian Santistamon in the third, also walked and scored a run in the first.
And will we see a curveball from Salo? Yes, we will, and right on the corner. So there is out number 1. He started the at-bat with, I believe, 5 straight fastballs, and then finally came with the curveball, and Gaetano was caught looking for another fastball, and he takes it for strike 3.
I do have to say that Salo has had very good movement on that breaking ball, as it's been looked really tight coming out of the hand of Logan Salo, and it seems like early on that's something that he prides himself on, is really having that tight spin on his breaking ball.
And also, that curveball in a spot where he had issues all game, and that time really able to locate it well on the outside corner to a same-side hitter for the strikeout.
And now the pitch to DeOrio, as it's going to hit the batter DeOrio. So it'll be the first hit batter of the game for Logan Salo. And it will put DeOrio on base for his 3rd time in this game. And he hasn't done so by getting credit for a hit. He's walked, reached on an error, and now a hit by pitch.
And that one, if it hit him, barely clipped him. He almost had a look of confusion on his face to DeOrio as he walked to first, but he will be awarded the first base bag and a 1-out base runner to deal with for Salo, with the hitter coming to the plate being Joe Ogren.
So it does go down as the tying run, standing on first now. And the pitch from Salo, and that's going to be fouled off over towards the Pioneers bullpen, as there is some action down in the Elmira bullpen as we near closer to the later portion of this game, with it scheduled for just 7 innings as we work in the bottom of the 5th inning, as it is a left-hander for Elmira.
Looks to be Matt Horton, and he's pitched very well for the Pioneers so far this year.
Pitch here is swung on. DeLear, short's going to have to make the scoop and the throw in time for the out, as it moves the runner DeOrio up to second, and there's 2 outs.
Nice job by DeLear, just knowing that it's going to be a very tough play at second for the 4th, so just taking the sure out at first, and now for Salo, 1 out away from completing 5 innings and being eligible for the win.
As that'll bring in Dominic Lopez here for the Rams. Lopez 0 for 1 in the game, struck out swinging in the first, has also walked and was stranded at first in the 3rd inning. As the pitch here is going to miss for a ball. The umpires for you, Larry Gallo behind the plate, and Eddie Collins working the base paths.
Eddie Collins, like the Hall of Fame second baseman, Doug?
Yes, I believe that's why they call him Fast Eddie Collins out there. There's a strike called here as the count evens up 1-1 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning from the Duff in Watertown, New York. Elmira with a 4-3 lead against the Rams. Salo will give a quick look at the runner DeOrio at second. And another look, and the pitch. And that one is low, and a good job by Lopez to not offer at the pitch.
Yeah, Salo, a very good job executing on those breaking balls, trying to get him for called strikes, but maybe that swing and miss curveball hasn't quite become part of his repertoire yet.
And here comes the pitch, and that's a called strike, so the count evens up. Lopez out of Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
And big pitch for Salo with a runner on second and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The Pioneers ahead by a 4-3 score.
And here's the pitch. That one swung on and fouled over towards the Rams dugout on the third base side. As giving a quick effort was the Rams head coach, Paul Terry.
And Salo came with a breaking ball there, but he managed to get Lopez just a little bit over aggressive, and all he could do was foul it off. Let's see what he decides to do on this 2-2 pitch.
A runner on second, 2 outs in the inning. The pitch is swung on. It's off of Salo, and it's going to hit. And he didn't know where it went at first. That's going to allow the runner to reach, as that one might have been off of the inside part of the foot of Salo, and he limps a little, now heading back to the pitcher's mound. As that one took a funny bounce, and Matt Birch is going to come out of the Pioneers dugout to have a look at Logan Salo, as that one went probably close to 10 feet in the air after a hit off of the pitcher, Logan Salo. So it allows the runner, DeOrio, to move up to third, and Lopez to reach at first on the 4th hit of the game for the Rams, and the first hit for Lopez.
And a little bit more urgency for Matt Horton in the bullpen, as we wonder whether Salo can remain in this game. The Pioneers probably not that far from making a bullpen move anyway, so if there's any question of Salo being injured, the move probably is to pull him here, Doug.
As Horton has been throwing down in the bullpen on the first base side, as I believe they might give Salo a couple pitches here to Drew Fisher to make sure things are good. We'll see if the home plate umpire, Larry Gallo, allows it, and it looks like he will. So we'll see how these practice tosses go for Salo here. See if he notices any discomfort.
First one looked good. Looked like a fastball. Could have been on the outside corner for a strike, and one might be enough. Actually, there will be a second one. Kind of step off the mound for a moment, and yes, indeed, it will be one. So
Salo says, just tell me what it is, one or do I get another one? As he's ready to go, trying to shake off that hard line drive off of his foot. Here's the pitch. That one swung on a chopper to Delaire short. He'll go to first, and the stretch from Santisteban, and he gets the out. So the single hopefully doesn't do any harm and any foul there, as Elmira strands 2 base runners on, as we've played 5 full here at the Duff in Watertown, and we'll go to the top of the 6th inning with Elmira coming up to the plate, as it will be their 8, 9, and 1 batters. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page alongside Robbie Knopf here from the Duff in Watertown, New York, as a new pitcher on for the Rams here to kick off this 6th inning. As Robbie will have more information on the new pitcher, Ben Wiley, for you.
And Wiley, an interesting year so far. He has appeared in 4 games, all in relief, and he has a shiny 1.69 ERA, but control has been a major issue for him, as in only 5 1/3 innings, he has walked 9 batters. So for the Pioneers, another case of a pitcher where they have to be patient. Don't try to force anything when the pitcher will not necessarily throw strikes. And the Pioneers hoping to extend their lead. They currently hold a 4-3 advantage after the Rams were able to get a run back in the bottom of the fourth. And overall, Doug, Villanueva quite inconsistent for the Rams. He ended up walking 6 in 5 innings, but able to work out some jams and keep his team in the game.
Yeah, in 5 innings, he gave up 4 runs. 2 of those earned on 4 hits, walked 6 and struck out 1. As the first pitch is going to be off of Drew Fisher, and I don't believe that one's going to feel all that great. As it looks like that one might have been off of the elbow of Fisher, but I think it was off of the elbow where he does have the elbow protector. But nonetheless, it'll be a leadoff base runner for Elmira here to kick off the 6th inning. As Ben Wiley, this is the 3rd time that he's pitched against Elmira. Pitched here in the very first time Elmira came to the Duff, and then also pitched in the game that Watertown came to Dunfield. As Fisher reaches over at first. It'll be the 2nd time that he's been on base. Also our 2nd hit batter of the game, first for Rams pitching.
And Elmira steps in, and you can't swing he's going to be swinging at his first pitch after looking at that last one. Indeed, he does not, and he takes a fastball up. So 2 pitches, and neither of them close for Wiley so far.
Wiley, a wily left-hander out of San Diego. Takes a look over at Fisher at first. And a pitcher called strike here to Delir. He is 0 for 1 in the game, has scored and walked back in the 2nd inning, grounded out to the 3rd baseman Herchik in the 4th. It was a great stab by the 3rd baseman. Almost knocked him right off his feet. As pitch here is going to miss for ball 2. 3rd baseman Herchik was charging in case of a bunt.
Yeah, Delir just putting the thought in 3rd baseman's mind that maybe he will bunt and try to move the runner up to 2nd base. And now look at him. He's playing way in, and maybe an easier shot of a base hit if he's able to hit something in that direction.
Here's the 2-1. That one's going to be fouled back and out of play over in the first base side to even the count up. Chris Kaluzdian in the on-deck circle for Elmira. As Kaluzdian's been on base twice in this game and scored a run. Elmira a 4-3 lead against the Rams here in game 1 of our doubleheaders. We work in the top of the 6th inning from the Duff. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be fouled off.
And that'll be a strikeout. He bunted with 2 strikes and cannot bunt in fair territory. So a little bit of a bizarre sequence there. You have a hitter in Delir. He's quite capable. He can hit the ball pretty hard, but bunting with 2 strikes and unable to execute. So that'll be the first out of the inning for Wiley, and he'll count that as a lucky break, as now he deals with Chris Kaluzdian, running on first with 1 out.
Well, Kaluzdian will step in, as he is 1 for 2 in the game. And he looks at a first pitch strike. Matt Horton continuing to throw down in the bullpen for Elmira. Believe we will see him come out for this bottom of the 6th inning for Elmira. Fisher leads off of first. And the pitch going to second is Fisher. And I believe Fisher is going to get credit for a stolen base there, as he was off and going before the pitch. And there was no throw from the catcher, DeLuca. So it'll be a runner at second for Elmira with 1 out here.
And for Fisher, that is stolen base number 1 on the season, so congratulations to him. Wasn't like a wild pitcher pass ball. He just saw the ball in the dirt and decided to go, or maybe Pioneers had a hit and run on, or a bunt and run in any case, as Kaluzdian showed bunt and pulled it back.
So the count 2 balls and a strike. So nonetheless, Fisher gets to second, which is what Delir was trying to do. And now it gives the chance for Kaluzdian with a runner in scoring position here. And as Elmira, 4 runs on 4 hits in the ball game.
And Fisher coming around to score. The last time he was on base back in the 2nd, hoping to do the same here.
And a pitch is a called strike there, the fastball from Wiley.
And after those first couple of pitches, Wiley has really settled down, really staying around the strike zone, and Pioneers aren't going to get any help from him, it seems. Really going to have to put the ball in play and make these defenders for Watertown make something happen and record the outs.
And the pitch is going to be outside, so a full count here to Chris Kaluzdian. As Fisher was hit on the very first pitch from Ben Wiley out of the bullpen in relief of his starter, Javi Villanueva, for the Rams. First time Elmira had saw Villanueva.
And Fisher a catcher, but he does run relatively well for a backstop, so a single could very well score him.
And the pitch here is going to be fouled off. The count will stay full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And 3-2, maybe a chance to be aggressive for the Pioneers, but a runner on second base, no point taking an unnecessary risk, so Fisher should be staying put and hope that Gluesdien can hit a line drive somewhere and drive him in.
TJ Dixon in the on-deck circle for Elmira. Wiley, a couple checks of the runner. Here's the pitch. And that one's inside, and it's ball 4. And Elmira will have runners on first and second. Second time Gluesdien's drawn a walk.
And Gluesdien entered the game with 5 walks. Now he's all the way up to 7, showing off his plate discipline against a couple of pitchers in Villanueva and now Wiley, who haven't always been around the strike zone. And now here is TJ Dixon.
Dixon 0 for 3 in the game, as he struck out looking fly down, then had a sac fly. As the ball here is going to get by the catcher, DeLuca. Fisher thought about rounding third hard, but he's going to hold.
Yeah, the one positive about the walk for Watertown was that it set up a double play, but now that's gone after that wild pitch. Make it runners on second and third with 1 out, and for Dixon, he has a chance at his second sac fly of the game, but certainly hoping for a little bit more than that. The Rams will play the infield in. They're already down 1 and don't want to see that deficit expanded anymore.
And the count is 1-0 to the batter, Dixon. Infield, as Robbie said, in here, with Elmira holding a 1-run lead in the top of the 6th inning in a 7-inning game. Here's the pitch from Wiley, and that's by the catcher. And actually, are they going to call it a dead ball? As they're going to say that it hit Dixon, as that must have just barely nicked him, as I thought that was for sure a wild pitch, but they're going to say it just scraped off his shoulder. So 2 hit batters in the inning. That might actually come maybe to help out Watertown, as it saves from what would have been a run coming in from third to load the bases up for Elmira, with 1 out here in the inning and Nick Walker stepping up.
Yeah, if this was football and that was a penalty you could decline, you definitely would. You'd much rather have the wild pitch than have Dixon reach base on another hit by pitch. But instead, it'll be the bases loaded and 1 out, and the possibility for a double play for the Rams to get out of the inning. Obviously, Nick Walker hoping for a quite different result. A fly ball could potentially give the Pioneers a 5-3 lead. And it looks like we're going to have a new pitcher for Watertown.
As Wiley doesn't get out of the inning, goes just a third of an inning, and he comes out with 3 runners on base as his responsibility.
And the new pitcher for the Watertown Rams is going to be Kyle Simmons. And put into a big spot here with the bases loaded and only 1 out. Simmons entering the game with an 0-1 record and a 5 ERA, allowing 8 runs, only 5 earned on 8 hits and 9 innings of work, striking out 7 and walking 7 as well.
Kyle Simmons listed at 6'2", a 180-pound right-handed thrower out of Watertown, New York, a sophomore at Coker College, so pitching for his hometown Rams.
And the bases were loaded, and the Rams may have been scared that their pitcher, Wiley, was going to walk or even hit in a run without the Pioneers really need to do anything other than keep the bat on their shoulders. So bring in the fresh arm and see if he can do a better job throwing strikes and just get out of this inning.
And they're going to be coming up against a batter, Nick Walker, who's walked his last 2 times up, and he flew out his first time up. As Walker did a great job base running in the second as he went first to third on a ball that was hit by Christian Santisteban. But then the 4th inning, Walker had the same setup, but he was gunned down by the right fielder, Gaetano, trying to go from first to third on a hit by Santisteban that ended the 4th inning for Elmira. As Elmira that inning could have maybe pushed for more than 1 run, but they took it, as at the time it gave them a 2-run cushion. But now holding on to a 1-run lead here, 4-3 in the top of the 6th inning with bases loaded and just one out, as that one out was a strikeout to Derek DeLear as he tried to bunt with 2 strikes.
And for Walker, so he has 2 walks in the game, and really quite appropriate for his last name, as he now leads the team with 13 walks. Taylor Hilson right behind him at 11. They were tied entering the game, and Hilson one of the few Pioneers to not draw a walk in this game. We've already seen 7 walks and 3 hit batsmen, so really, 2 hit batsmen for the pitching for Watertown. Pioneers pitching has also hit 1 batter, and Salo allowing his fair share of walks, so a lot of stuff going on without the fielders needing to do anything, and the question is going to be which side can take advantage more, and so far it has been the Pioneers.
As the catcher, Joe DeLuca, came out to have a quick chat with his new pitcher, Kyle Simmons. So right now it goes down as the 3rd of an inning for Ben Wiley with no runs as of yet. Elmira trying to change that. As the pitch is going to be swung on, and it'll be strike 1.
Walker fouls it back, trying to do something on the first pitch, but getting fooled a little bit there. New pitcher, not quite familiar with him, and Simmons able to get ahead in the count 0-1.
Simmons looks in for the signs from his catcher, DeLuca. And here's the pitch. And that one's swung on. That one's hit out to center. This should bring in a run. Caught by Hassel, heading home is Fisher. He will score as the throw goes to the cutoff man, the shortstop, Alessandrine. And Elmira is going to take, again, a 2-run lead on the sac fly from Nick Walker. The 3rd sac fly of the game, the 2nd for Elmira, is 1 for Watertown. And that'll bring in Christian Santisteban with 2 outs and runners on 1st and 2nd.
So all the runs in this game either driven in by Christian Santisteban or by a sac fly, as Dixon and Walker have a sac fly. Santisteban with a 2-run single and then an RBI base hit, hoping to add that total right here with 2 on and 2 out. And that pitch is fouled away, so Simmons ahead in the count 0-1. Was able to record the 2nd out of the inning, but would rather have not given up that run to make it a 2-run lead for the Pioneers.
So that run charged to Ben Wiley. As getting on base, Fisher was hit by a pitch. This one here will miss for a ball, as Fisher was actually hit by the very first pitch from Wiley, right off the elbow. And obviously Drew Fisher wearing that elbow guard for a reason, probably not the first time he's been hit there.
And that one will miss low, so now a 2-1 count.
Guys, it's a beautiful day here in Watertown, New York. The sun is out, hardly no clouds, a nice little breeze out to straightaway center. In game 1 of our doubleheader, Elmira holding a 5-3 lead in the top of the 6th inning here. Runners lead off 1st and 2nd. Here's the pitch. That one swung on by Santisteban. That one's hit out to center. Ranging back to center field. He's not going to get it. It goes to the wall. Dixon racing around 3rd. He's going to come home. Heading into 2nd, Santisteban. And it's going to be a 2 RBI double for Christian Santisteban. And boy, he brought the power bat here in game 1. As that's going to be a 5 RBI afternoon in game 1 here for Christian Santisteban.
A little bit of a pity that this is only a 7-inning game. You'd have a chance to expand upon that, but Pioneers will certainly take it as is. He's now given them a 4-run lead by a 7-3 score, and Santisteban, the difference in the game, they'd be trailing 3-2 without him.
And I'm glad that T.J. Dixon was able to score, because I had both him and Chris Kaluzian standing on second base, which obviously you cannot happen, so maybe it was a little baseball method working out there as I put Dixon a base ahead of where he was supposed to be. So it's now a 7-3 lead here for Elmira as Santisteban leads off of second base against the pitcher Kyle Simmons. And the pitch to Zach Bellinger is going to miss low.
And so all 3 of those runs charged to Ben Wiley. So his rough day finishes with those 3 runs allowed while Simmons is in the game.
So for Christian Santisteban, his 2nd 5 RBI game of the season. As the pitch home here is swung at and missed by Bellinger. And is changing speeds with Simmons. So the count now 1-2 strikes. As Santisteban actually had 5 RBIs in his first 2 at-bats in a game against Adirondack. Did not finish the game with any other RBIs, but it was enough for Elmira as they were able to pick up the win against the Trailblazers.
And how about Christian Santisteban now with 18 RBIs on the season in 18 games? So averaging an RBI per game, and that's really an unbelievable pace for the Pioneers' first baseman. That's exactly what you want.
As the count is 2-2 to Zach Bellinger with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Pitch coming from Kyle Simmons. That's breaking ball off of the glove of Simmons. The second baseman, Altieri, has to field it. And they're going to make the play at first as Bellinger will ground out to end the inning. But Elmira gets 3 runs to take a 7-3 lead heading to the bottom of the 6th inning as you're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network.
Hi everyone, and we are back here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network, and we are going to have a new picture for Elmira. As entering the game is lefty Matt Horton, and Horton has really been one of the best relievers for the Pioneers this season. He enters the game with 5 relief appearances, and he's allowed only an unearned run on 2 hits, striking out 5 while walking only 1. He's a smaller lefty out of Cornell. He's only 5'10", but doesn't matter how tall or short you are when you have stuff like he does, showing a good fastball and really a sharp breaking ball that continues to give hitters problems every time he enters the game. And for Logan Salo, this is an outing to build on. He's had some issues in previous outings and some more control problems at time in this game, but he was able to depart with his team leading 7-3. Offense picked him up, and he was able to never relinquish the lead that they gave him. And nice job by Salo. Once again, hopefully an outing that he can continue to improve upon. Salo, one of the few SEC players on this Pioneers team, coming from a big conference, hoping for an opportunity to pitch and start a few games after he was primarily a reliever for the Wildcats this season. And this is the learning process that he was hoping for, and he's getting it here. Nice start here, and the Pioneers hoping to finish his first win as a member of the team.
So Elmira with a 7-3 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning as the new pitcher is Matt Horton. And he will lead things off against the third baseman, Drew Herchick. Then a quick pitch here on number 2 will miss, so the count is 2-0. You'll notice that about Matt Horton, he works very quick on the mound, whether he's rolling along or struggling. He does not take much time in between pitches. And he's behind the leadoff batter here, 3-0.
And there's the strike. Maybe took something off of that one and able to calling at strike 1 and avoid the quickest 4-pitch walk in Major League history. Or perfect game collegiate baseball league history, I should say. A little too used to saying Major League. Anyway, so 3-2 as this at-bat has been super quick. Herchick hasn't lifted the bat off his shoulder in a 3-2 count. And strike 3. So that's one way to do it, as that took about as much time as a 3-pitch strikeout for another pitcher, as the count goes full, and Horn delivers the fastball in the outside corner to strike out Drew Herchick and give him 6 strikeouts on the year against only 1 walk. So great way to start things off for Horton, as he might have a chance to deliver the Pioneer to the win here. Might get a chance to go both innings with it not being a safe situation at this point.
Yep, as Horton definitely says that the reason why he works quick out there, so there's no time to waste just standing on the mound and moving around. He wants to get back to the dugout as quick as he can after he comes out for an inning, and so far it looks like it's worked out here for him. As the count now 2 balls and a strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Just playing 7 innings here in game number 1 of our doubleheader. 1 more 7-inning game coming up after this. As pitch here is going to be fouled back and out of play.
And Horn working so quickly. If you look away for a moment, you probably missed 3 pitches. Count now 2-2, and the hitter stepping out of the box to try to catch his breath because Horton is just bearing him down with all these quick pitches. There's a breaking ball, a diving play by Taylor Hilson, throws across for the out as the Pioneers third baseman makes another fine play, Doug.
Yeah, and it was a nice play by Taylor Hilson, and he's made a lot of those this year. Very agile over at third base for Elmira. And that will bring in the number 9 batter, Robbie Alessandrine, who had a sac fly his last time up in the 4th inning to give Watertown their 3rd run of the game.
And also, I thought it was ironic that Horton, who is throwing so quickly, coming with a slow breaking ball to get the out there.
As the first pitch will miss low and inside to the batter, Alessandrine. There in the bottom of the 6th.
Horn already set again. Now he's waiting for the hitter. He's ready to go. Not wasting any time. And there's a strike. So really a fascinating experience to watch Matt Horton for all of you listening to the Pioneers Broadcast Network, as here's the 1-1, and it's popped up.
In foul territory, Christian Santisteban still under us, come back in fair territory and makes the catch. So it is a quick, literally quick, 1-2-3 inning for Matt Horton out of the bullpen. And we head to the top of the 7th inning here in Watertown from the Duff. Elmira leading 7-3 against the Watertown Rams in the first game of our doubleheader. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network.
Hi everyone, and we are back from the Duff in Watertown, New York, as the Elmira Pioneers lead the Watertown Rams by a 7-3 score here in the top of the 7th inning, and this will be the last inning of the game. The Pioneers playing a doubleheader, and instead of the usual 9 innings, both games will be only 7 frames.
So the final line for Logan Salo, who got the start for Elmira: 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. As he was able to pick and choose his spots where he wanted to be very pinpoint on his accuracy, had a couple 1-2-3 innings and was able to efficiently work around some walks and some hits.
As that pitch was a curveball for a strike, Simmons head on Taylor Hilson 1-2. And the pitch is fouled away, so Hilson staying alive.
Hilson in the game 1 for 2, as he had a single in the 5th inning, as he did not get past first, though, as he was out 3 unassisted after the ball caught by the first baseman Lopez. It was a rocket off the bat of Taylor Skirpon. Elmira may be thinking about a hit and run, as Robbie noted earlier. Doug Page alongside Robbie off here from the Duff in Watertown, New York. Pitch is swung on. That's going to be into the glove of the second baseman, Santino Altieri. And that will be the first out here in the top of the 7th.
And Taylor Hilson, almost confused our Taylors there, did a great job waiting on that breaking ball and hitting a line drive, but just hit it to the wrong spot, as Altieri able to make a little leap and make the grab for the first out of the inning. And now here is Taylor Skirpon. Too many Taylors on this Pioneers team, Doug.
As the first pitch to him will miss, or actually will be a called strike, excuse me there, as Skirpon has lined out and grounded out, and this one has also reached and scored an error back in the 2nd inning. An error by the first baseman Lopez, and now he's quickly behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Also had the unforgettable bomb in the second where he made 4-3 ground balls into outs.
And here's a strikeout to Taylor Skirpon, and there's quickly 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, Simmons trying to give his Rams a chance to overcome the deficit with 1 swing. 4-run ball game isn't a save, but it's still a deficit that you can overcome, although Pioneers hopefully not going to give up that many runs.
And a pitch here going to be fouled back out of play for strike 1. And to the batter, Drew Fisher. Fisher came around to score in Elmira's 6th inning after he was hit to lead off the inning by Ben Wiley, Coyote. And the pitch here, home by Simmons, is going to go for strike 2.
And Fisher also recording his first stolen base in the game after he reached last inning on the hit by pitch. So he's come around to score twice in this game. He entered the contest having scored not a single run the entire year. So first 2 runs of the season for Drew Fisher, as he's had a pretty solid game, and also good job navigating through the control struggles of Logan Salo to help him stay afloat and keep the Pioneers in the lead.
Here comes a 1-2 from Kyle Simmons, and that one's going to be swung on in the dirt. The catcher, DeLuca, will have to throw it on first, and he makes the throw. So back-to-back strikeouts for Kyle Simmons as he works a 1-2-3 7th, and we'll head to the bottom half of the inning as Watertown needs some runs here to keep this game going as they trail Elmira 7-3 in game 1 of our doubleheader here, as Elmira looking to try to move to 11-7 on the year. As coming back out to work this bottom half of the inning will be Matt Horton, and we'll try to take a break before he starts the inning. Here from the Duff in Watertown, New York, you're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for the bottom of the 7th inning as the speedster, Matt Horton, out on the mound to kick things off here for him. It looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here for the Rams to kick off the bottom of the 7th inning, as it's going to be number 33, as it'll be Shane Servos. Servos listed as an infielder, 5'11", 175 pounds, a right-hander, also out of Skagit Valley Community College, a sophomore from Mount Vernon, Washington. So feeling left out, probably Austin Von Herbulis, as he is the only Skagit Valley player that hasn't made an appearance in this game.
And Servos entering this at bat, 2 for 8 in limited time.
As he will bat for the leadoff hitter, Santino Alteri.
And there's a strike, and Horton taking a moment between pitches. What is going on, Doug? I can't believe it. But now he's set and back in rhythm, as here's the 1-1. Missing low, so Servos ahead in the count, trying to make something happen off the bench. Horton set again, and here he comes. And there's a strike. Nice job of framing the pitch by Drew Fisher. Looked to be maybe a little bit below the knee, but Fisher catching it well, just subtly moving his glove up a little bit, and Horton gets the strike call.
The pitch here is made grounded to Skirpon at second. He fields it, throws to Santisteban, and retired for the first out is going to be Servos, as that one goes down 4-3.
And the irony is that Alteri might have beaten that out. So what can you do? Try to get the better hitter at the plate, but it didn't work out there.
And another pinch hitter here, as it'll be number 9, Dustin Exford. 6'1", 205 pounds, a right-hander, a redshirt sophomore at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College, if that's not a mouthful, out of Watertown, New York.
And entering this at bat, 2 for 17 on the season.
First pitch is a called strike to him.
And ready again is Matt Horn, but waiting for the hitter. And the windup and the pitch. Slow curveball, and that one will miss, so it'll count now 1-1. Usually it's a hitter waiting for the pitcher. In this case, it's really the exact opposite, as Horn is always ready to go.
And this one is going to be fouled over towards some fans on the first base side, as that one is going to be strike 2. So they count 1-2 to the batter expert here. Bottom of the 7th inning, Elmira looking to try and pick up a win here in Game 1 of our doubleheader. They lead 7-3. The pitch from Horton is a breaking ball. That one's just going to miss, so the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the designated hitter, Matt DeOrio in the on-deck circle. And here's the pitch. It's a chopper off the plate. Hilson gloves it, makes the throw, and the out as he came charging in front of DeLear to get the second out.
And Horton in this inning forcing a couple of weak ground balls, but it's really been the Pioneers' defense. You put a couple of different infielders behind Horton. Those might be base hits, both of them, but in this case, nice play by Skirpon and then Hilson. Great job fielding that chopper, so the Watertown Rams are down to their final out, and up comes their best hitter, Matt DeOrio, to try to extend the game.
He's been on base all 3 times. He's come up to the plate. So he watches a breaking ball called for strike 1. As he's walked, reached on an error, and been hit by a pitch. Here in an 0-1 count. And this one swung on, golfed foul down the right field line. Pioneers bullpen will have some action as they'll be able to chase that ball. As it looks like the other DeOrio, Brendan DeOrio for Elmira, going to get to that ball. No relation there between the two of them.
And time is called. That's literally the only thing that can stop Matt Horton on the mound as he hopes to finish this game. It's an 0-1 count as Horton deals to Matt DeOrio.
And that one's called for strike 3, a fastball.
0-2 count, and there it is.
That's going to end the game, so Elmira picks up a 7-3 win. As Matt Horton wanted to run off the field and go to the dugout, but then he realized the game is over. So he goes to give a high five to his catcher, Drew Fisher, and Elmira is going to move to 11-7 on the year, as Watertown will drop to 10-9. And as it stands right now, with the other games not in play, Elmira tied for first place with Newark, but they will play in just a couple of minutes. They're probably actually just getting underway. As the team goes through and gives high fives as Elmira picks up the 7-3 victory, as the win will go to Logan Salo, who did just enough to pitch his requirement to be in line for the win. And the loss will go to the starter, Javi Villanueva, who went 5 innings and gave up 4 runs on 5 hits. He walked 6 and struck out 1 for Logan Salo. Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, walked 3, and struck out 5. And that will do it for our first broadcast here. As we'll take a break, we'll get lineups for the second game. We'll get starting pitchers for you, and we'll have the call of our second 7 innings here from the Duff in Watertown, New York, as Elmira looks to try and make it a double-header sweep on this Friday here as we round out and get closer to the end of the first month in the PGCBL season. As we thank you for listening, and Doug Page alongside Robbie Knopf, we'll be back shortly here for Game 2, as you've been watching Elmira Pioneers Baseball on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network.